be talking about my Comma Press internship. Now, the way I got this internship was through my university. My university does a partnership with different companies, and one of them is publishing house Comma Press in the north of England. It is based in Manchester. We have only one main office because we are a small indie press. I was so surprised that such an amazing press that produces so many fantastic books was ran by such a small team. So we have Raw, who is the founder and was also my boss.
I am wearing shoes, jeans, a t-shirt. The design was probably added by a website. Hooray for online commercialism, yay.
We have Basma, she's from Gaza and she speaks Arabic, so she translates all of our Arabic literature into English for publication.
I'm not shut up.
If you could describe this text in 3 words, how would you describe it?
Yeah, so it's a good read if you like to feel icked.
We have Izzy, who is our events coordinator. She's fantastic. She recently was an editor for the book of Cardiff. That is some interesting writing.
Covered in plastic.
Yeah!
Design.
George is our main marketing expert. Alright, ready guys? Huh? Then we have David, who does most of the editing alongside Raw. David does not like to be on camera, so unfortunately you will not see any videos of David, but he is lovely, so nice. David, if you're watching this, just gotta put out there, #guacamole. Lastly, we have James, who I only got to meet once, unfortunately, because he only comes into the office once a week, but he was really fun and just has a great positive energy. First day, I came into Comma Press, and in the email Ross sent me beforehand, giving me some information about the office, he said, "Don't be afraid of the elevator." And I was like, how bad can the elevator really be? I walked in, and then right there you're faced with this like old-timey, like kind of lattice-crossed metal bar elevator, kind of this almost open space, especially in the front elevator. You can watch it go up and down, and yeah, it was terrifying. You would think it would be aesthetic, you know, you get to like close the doors, open the doors. It wasn't like what you see in the films. It was terrifying. It is a totally safe functioning elevator. It just looks terrifying. So the first day I did take the stairs. I climbed the 5 flights of stairs and I was like, I was out of breath. I was like, no, I don't want to like meet them in person for the first time, out of breath. But luckily I got there at 8:30. We work flexible hours. Anyways, I was waiting outside and George walks in and I was like, he does not look like my boss. And then he was like, I'm George, I work here, I mostly do the marketing. Are you Ivy? I'm like, yes, I'm Ivy. Anyway, I don't know if I've ever said that. My channel's called the Ivy Library because my name's Ivy. I met George. He was the first person I met in person because I met David and Raw in the interview. And George was super lovely, super nice. We got on immediately. He's just so fun. He laughs so much. Makes you feel like you're the funniest person in the world, which is great. He had me film an unboxing video as my first introduction into filming content for Comma, so while I had my own plans alongside that, thankfully I was kind of given an entry point, which was the Damascus unboxing video. I'll put some behind the scenes here of George and I just cracking up because he had to like, because I was like, oh, like I want to do a thing, like it looks like I threw, like, you know, you're catching the box, so then he had to like throw the box into the shot, which I actually kept in the actual video, even though I was gonna make it behind the scenes, but then I was like, no, this is quite funny. You want to throw the box?
Yeah, all good?
Yeah. Today we're going to be unboxing our new release. Maybe. I loved getting to know everybody in Comin. They're such a tight-knit team and so wonderful, but that doesn't mean that you feel on the outside. I felt immediately accepted into the work environment and the atmosphere, and like I was just a normal equal piece of the puzzle like everyone else. I felt like I belonged. They taught me so much about the publishing industry. On my first day, Ra actually gave me a PowerPoint and explained indie publishing versus commercial, and I learned so much about the publishing industry and about how to write short stories and what makes a gripping book. Good morning! The way these short stories are written, it gave me a new insight into how to write a short story that not only has thematic depth, but one that is gripping at the same time, and to be able to balance those two things. Comin Press books actually showed me that those two things are not mutually exclusive and that they can exist together to elevate a story even more. I especially found that out when I read this short story called Meat, which was a fantastic feminist short story. I don't want to give it away, but it has these three different parts of the story that kind of all come together in the end in a big revelation that is so shocking. Sometimes I feel like when you read a lot, you can kind of like predict endings, but I did not even know how it was all going to come together. I loved it so much. Basic premise, there is an artist, she's a vegetarian, and her husband's job involves creating meat from stem cells. Monster Capital, the overall collection, is about metaphorical capitalist monsters, or how capitalism makes monsters out of all of us. Two, one, go. What I loved about getting to do a digital marketing role specifically is that I get to use my creativity constantly. I get to do something a little bit different every day, and that's all I wanted out of the job, is something creative, something where I can work with books or creative media, and something where I don't do the exact same thing every day but can have a variety to keep my creativity flowing. My main goal for my future job is to work in editing or editorial. While working on my university's literary journal as first an editor, then an executive editor, I found that what I loved most about editing is getting to connect with other writers, because I'm a writer, about their story and their vision and help them see their creative vision realized. I really love that. So, my main goal for my career, or one of my main goals, there's lots of different things I want to do, is to be an editor for a fiction or poetry publishing company. Getting to work on digital marketing really opened my eyes to the possibility of working in different jobs in the same sector or working in different sectors. Last thing I want to talk about is my Book of Manchester project. So Book of Manchester is actually one of our backlisted titles, and even though most of my job was to promote very recent books like Monster Capital and upcoming books like The Book of Cardiff, I had this idea to go and shoot content in Manchester, since that was the Reading the City book that we had access to right there. The authors, most of them live in Manchester. The city of Manchester is right there, as the Comin Press office is in Manchester. So David and I filmed a ton of B-roll on one day, which is when we got the Cobb salad from Manchester Library. I got to visit Manchester Library. It was one of the most beautiful libraries I've ever seen. The dome actually I think is a lot closer than it looks, but it looks so wide and expansive, kind of like you're looking at like an astronomy dome, you're looking out into the stars, but instead it's books. I even got to interview some authors from the book. So one author I interviewed was Mish Green. That was kind of an online communication. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Mish in person, but they were so wonderful and provided so many amazing answers to the questions I put out. If you want to watch some of the Mish Green content I put out, you can go to the Comin Press Instagram or TikTok. I also got to interview Bronte Schultz, who actually has become one of my friends now. She is so lovely, so kind, and really experienced and knowledgeable about writing. I got to interview her and she gave fantastic answers to all the questions about craft and form and structure, and it was just fantastic to hear how she kind of formulates a short story and what kind of things she puts in, what grabs her attention, and what areas of her life she draws on for her writing. Go on like a field trip for my internship. It was fantastic. Basically, we took a group of writers to Jodrell Bank. I love science fiction. They're coming out with a joint collection where the writers got to go to Jodrell Bank and write their stories informed by the science and their experience. We got to look at the radio telescope, and we had the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go up the radio telescope and walk along the dish. The dish is usually tilted outwards, but they tilted it facing directly upwards for us so that we could walk along the dish. It's very sunny up there. You don't want to take your sunglasses off. I made that mistake. Basically, what the radio telescope does is it captures radio waves from out in the universe, and they are using it to look for extraterrestrial life forms because radio waves come from built-up infrastructure, so they can identify intelligent life by seeing if other intelligent life out there has used organic materials to build industrial materials. I also just got to meet so many amazing, incredible short story writers that are going to be in the collection, and I got to learn from their experience. Some of them are full-time writers, some of them, one of them told me he gets up early and writes before his, day job. So it's really inspiring to see people working writing into their lives, no matter what they do, because it's what they're passionate about. Overall, my time at Comin Press was amazing. I didn't want to leave. I couldn't believe that my 2.5 weeks were up when they ended. If you ever get the chance to intern or to work for Comin Press, definitely take it. Also, their books are incredible, so I'm not getting paid for this, guys. I'm really not. I genuinely want to tell you, go read some of their books. Fantastic and amazing short stories. Bye!